Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are really getting into a source that, for a lot of people, it has fundamentally shifted how they think about success, about freedom, and even peace.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about the Almanack of Naval Ravikant. And for anyone who doesn't know the name Naval is, well, he's more than just an entrepreneur.
Right, he's the co-founder of AngelList, an early investor in huge companies like Twitter and Uber.
But he's also become this modern philosopher. And this book, it's not a normal book. It's a collection of his wisdom from tweets, interviews, all over the place.
And the core idea we're going to get into, and it's so powerful, is his belief that building wealth and being happy, they're not luck.
They're skills, learnable skills. That's the whole premise.
I love that. It just takes all the mystery out of it. So our mission today is to really unpack those skills. We'll start with the external game first, how he thinks about creating wealth.
Right, with his trinity of specific knowledge, leverage, and accountability.
And then we'll pivot to the much harder internal game, his philosophy on happiness as a kind of internal state of peace that you cultivate.
The goal here is to find timeless principles. Things that will guide you for the next decade, not, the next couple of months.
Okay, let's jump into the wealth side. The mindset shift is the place to start. He has this claim, which is pretty bold.
Oh, the one where he says if he lost all his money?
Yeah, if he was dropped on a random street, he believes he could be wealthy again in 5 or 10 years.
And that says everything, doesn't it? It's not about the money in the bank. It's a portable skill. He's saying hard work alone won't get you there. You can work 80 hours a week, but you're just selling your time.
So what's the foundation then, if not just pure hard work?
It's what he calls specific knowledge.
And this is where it gets a little tricky, right? Because most people hear that and think, oh, a degree, a certification.
But he says the exact opposite. He's very clear. This is knowledge you cannot be trained for.
Because if society can train you for it.
It can train your replacement. And that drives your value right down to minimum wage.
So how do you even figure out what your specific knowledge is?
It's found at the intersection of your unique background, your DNA, and your genuine obsessions. It's that thing that feels like play to you, but looks like work to others.
So if I'm weirdly obsessed with, say, behavioral psychology and also 19th century shipbuilding, the intersection of those two things, that's where my specific knowledge might be.
Exactly. No one else has that specific combination. It can't be outsourced. It can't be automated. And you prove you have it with results, not with a certificate.
Okay, so you find that unique thing. Then what? You need to multiply it, right?
That's where leverage comes in. And his definition of wealth is crucial here. It's assets that earn while you sleep.
Right. It's not money, which is just a credit for your time. Wealth is ownership. It's the thing that works for you when you're not working.
And ownership gives you leverage. He breaks it down into 3 types. The first is labor people working for you. It's old and it's messy.
Managing people is hard.
Very hard. The second is capital, money. That's been the dominant form of leverage for the last century. It scales really well, but you need permission. You need someone to give you the capital to manage.
But the third one, this is the new one, the one that's created so much wealth recently.
Products with no marginal cost of replication. This is code, media, books, podcasts.
You make it once, and you can sell it 1,000,000 times. The cost to make the 1,000,000th copy is basically zero.
And here's the most important part. It's permissionless. You don't need anyone's approval to write code or record a video. You just need a laptop.
But doesn't that just create a different problem? If everyone can do it, it becomes incredibly competitive. Only the top tiny fraction actually win.
It absolutely does, which is why your specific knowledge is so important. Your permissionless product has to be infused with your unique insight. Otherwise, you're just another voice in the noise.
That makes sense. It all links back. And that brings us to the third piece of the Trinity.
Accountability. You have to be willing to take risks under your own name.
Put your neck on the line.
Yep. Society rewards you with equity and outsized returns for taking that public risk of failure. But his point is that we tend to overstate the downside in modern society.
People forgive honest failures.
Right.
And bankruptcy exists. It's not the end of the world.
Exactly. So the formula he ends up with is productize yourself. Combine your unique specific knowledge, apply leverage through code or media, and take accountability for the outcome.
But even with that formula, it takes time, which is where compounding comes in.
Right. And not just with money. with reputation, with relationships. He has that line, 99% of effort is wasted.
Which sounds incredibly bleak at first.
It does, but it's not about doing nothing. It's about finding that 1% of things, the right career, the right city, the right people, and sticking with them for decades. That's how you get the exponential returns. And you have to avoid the risk of ruin. You can't get wiped out.
And avoiding ruin,
Yeah.
that transitions us perfectly. It's all about judgment. If leverage magnifies your output, then the quality of your decisions is everything.
That's it. He says, in an age of leverage, one correct decision can win everything. You're not paid for effort anymore. You're paid for your judgment.
And for good judgment, you need to be a clear thinker. He says being called a clear thinker is a better compliment than being called smart.
Because we all know people who sound smart. They use big words, jargon, but there's no foundation there.
Like Richard Feynman said, if you can't explain it to a child, you don't really understand it.
Exactly. And to get that clarity, you have to master the fundamentals. He's big on this. Basic math, probability, microeconomics, psychology.
Why those specifically?
Because they're the bedrock of understanding reality. They give you predictive power. Without them, you're just guessing.
So assuming you're building those foundations, what's the biggest barrier to clear thinking?
Your own ego. Your identity.
This is such a deep point. The idea that we cling to labels, political, professional, and then we can't see reality clearly anymore.
Our identity becomes a filter. We only accept information that confirms what we already believe. If you identify as a socialist or a libertarian, you're almost programmed to reject facts that challenge that label.
So you need to shed those identities to see the world as it is.
That's the goal, to be a true contrarian who thinks from first principles, not just someone who conforms to the opposite side.
And the main tool for building that independent mind.
It's reading. He calls a genuine love for reading a superpower. We live in an age where all the information is out there. The desire to learn is the scarce thing.
He says reading for an hour or two a day puts you in, like, the top tiny fraction of a percent of people.
A huge advantage over the long term. But his advice on how to read is key.
Right. Don't treat books like they're sacred.
Exactly. Treat them like blog posts. Skip around. If you get the main idea in the first chapter, you can put it down. The goal isn't to finish books, it's to get insights. And read the original texts. Read Adam Smith. Don't read a summary of Adam Smith.
This focus on self-mastery leads right into the final part of his philosophy, maybe the most important part, happiness.
Yeah, he's very open that after he made money, he realized it only solves money problems. It doesn't make you happy.
So he had to redefine happiness for himself. And for him, it's not joy or excitement.
It's peace, a state of internal peace. He defines it as not suffering, not desiring, not thinking too much about the future or the past. It's your baseline state.
Which is so at odds with how our culture defines it. And that brings up his idea about desire.
Every desire is a chosen unhappiness. That's the quote.
Wow. A contract you make with yourself to be unhappy.
Yes. You're literally saying, I will be unhappy until I get this thing. Then you get it, you feel good for a day, and your mind finds a new thing to desire. It's a treadmill.
And that treadmill is fueled by what he calls multiplayer games. Status, money, keeping up with the Joneses.
Right. They're all about external validation. But life, he says, is fundamentally a single-player game.
You're born alone, you die alone.
So your experience is entirely internal, which is why envy is so illogical. You can't just pick one part of someone's life, like their money. You'd have to take their anxieties, their family problems, their entire internal state 24/7. And no one would actually make that trade?
So if peace is the goal, how do we actually cultivate it? He's very direct about the habits.
Health first, non-negotiable. Physical, mental, spiritual health comes before everything else, because if that collapses, nothing else matters.
He quotes his trainer on this one. Easy choices, hard life, hard choices, easy life.
It's so good. The hard choice is going to the gym now. The easy life is being healthy and mobile when you're older. The easy choice is eating junk food now.
And the hard life is the health problems that come later.
Exactly. And that applies to mental fitness, too. He talks about meditation as intermittent fasting for the mind.
Not about stopping your thoughts, but just observing them.
Yeah, recognizing that constant stream of chatter from the monkey mind, which is usually based on fear or regret. His practice is just sitting, accepting the moment without judging it, realizing you are not your thoughts, you're the awareness behind them.
And that awareness, that's what leads to the ultimate goal. Not freedom to do whatever you want.
But freedom from?
Freedom from reaction. Freedom from anger.
Right. He defines anger as a loss of control and says it's its own punishment because it ruins your internal state. If you master your internal world, the external world loses its power over your peace.
So to bring it all together, we have this external playbook for wealth. Find your unique skill, apply leverage, and take risks.
And an internal playbook for peace? Let go of desire, play the single-player game, and cultivate awareness. They're totally connected. You need the internal clarity to have the good judgment to succeed externally.
Which leaves us with his pretty staggering take on the modern world.
It's a powerful idea. He says that today you have lone individuals trying to find peace through fasting, meditating, exercise.
And they're up against, quote, armies of scientists and statisticians weaponizing abundant food, screens, and medicine into junk food, clickbait news, and addictive drugs.
It's a war, a daily war for your attention and for your peace. These systems are designed to hijack your brain and keep you locked in that multiplayer game of desire.
So if this whole philosophy is about being intentional, the final thought we want to leave you with is this. Knowing that these massive forces are designed to manipulate you, how deliberately are you choosing your environment, your friends, and what you consume every single day to win that war for your own peace? Think about that and choose your moves wisely.